Question 6, Paper 2, November 2020. 6.1. In the diagram, P, -5 and 12, and T lies on the positive x-axis. Then angle POT is equals to theta. Answer the following without using a calculator. 6.1.1. Write down the value of tan theta. So tan theta is equals to the opposite side over the adjacent side. And in terms of diagrams, it will be y over x. So that will be 12 over -5. Or we could say -2 and 2/5. 6.1.2. Calculate the value of cos theta. So to find cos theta, we'd need the length of OP. So OP squared would be equals to -5 squared plus 12 squared. And we are using Pythagoras. Therefore, OP's length is 13 units. So for cos theta, it will be adjacent over the hypotenuse. So it's -5 over 13. So cos theta is equals to -5 over 13. 6.1.3. S is a point in the third quadrant such that TOS is equals to theta plus 90 degrees and OS is 6.5 units. Calculate the value of B. So S is a point in the third quadrant such that this angle would be theta plus 90 degrees. And also the length of OS is 6.5 units. So what we know is that OS is 6.5 units and that it is rotated 90 degrees onwards from theta. Now there are a few possible ways to solve this. What I can see is that the length of OP is 13 and half of 13 is 6.5. So the midpoint of OP is -5 over 2 and 6 because it's simply -5 divided by 2 and 12 divided by 2. And then further, this is now rotated by 90 degrees. And if you can remember rotations from grade 9, you'd find the coordinate of S is -6 and -5 over 2. So therefore, the B value would be -5 over 2. So in terms of trigonometry, we have a point S in the third quadrant on the Cartesian plane. We know that OS is 6.5 units. So if I form an angle in this triangle, I know that B is represented by the vertical line and the length of A by the horizontal line. I also know that the angle within this triangle is theta plus 90 degrees. So I can use this angle information to solve B. So in this triangle, B represents the opposite side. So sine of theta plus 90 degrees is equals to the opposite side, which is B over 6.5. Now sine 90 plus theta is the same as saying cos of theta, which is B over 6.5. And in the previous question, we find the cos of theta, which is -5 over 13 equals to B over 6.5. And now if I solve b, I have b is equals to -5 over 2. 6.2. Determine without using a calculator the value of the following trigonometric expression. So we have sine 2x cos minus x plus cos 2x times sine 360 minus x is sine 180 plus x. The temptation is to simply substitute sine 2x and cos 2x with the equations that we have on the formula sheet. But let us first take care of cos negative x and sine 360 minus x and sine 180 plus x. So I'll have sine 2x, cos negative x is in the fourth quadrant, so that will become cos x plus cos 2x times sine 360 minus x, which becomes negative sine of x over sine 180 plus x, which is in the third quadrant, so that is negative sine x. And if I rewrite this, it will be sine 2x times cos x minus cos 2x times sine x over negative sine x. And if you look at this expression, it's a compound angle which you can find on the formula sheet. This will then be sine 2x minus x over negative sine of x, which is equals to sine x over negative sine x, and that is negative 1. 6.3. Determine the general solution of the following equation. 6 sine square x plus 7 cos x minus 3 equal to 0. This can be rewritten as 6 1 minus cos square x plus 7 cos x minus 3 equal to 0. The reason why we have sine square x plus cos square x is equals to 1. Therefore, sine square x is equals to 1 minus cos square x. If I multiply this out, it will be 6 minus 6 cos square x plus 7 cos x minus 3 equal to 0. And that will be negative 6 cos square x plus 7 cos x plus 3 equal to 0. And if I divide everywhere by negative 1, it will be 6 cos square x minus 7 cos x minus 3 equal to 0. Now we can factorize. So that will be 3 cos x plus 1 and 2 cos x minus 3 equal to 0. So we have two possible solutions for cos. We have cos x equals to negative a third and cos x equals to 1.5. And this is not applicable because a cos graph moves between the maximum value of plus 1 and minus 1. And 1.5 is outside of this range. So we are not able to find x values that will be equal to 1.5. So I would find x values based on the negative a third. So I would solve x based on cos x equals to negative a third. So cos is negative in quadrant 2 and in quadrant 3. Now my reference angle would be the reciprocal function of cos. And to find a reference angle, I always substitute a positive value inside this function. So it will be shift cos 1/3. So the reference angle is 70.53 degrees. Then in quadrant 2, I have x is equals to 180 degrees minus the reference angle plus k times 360, which represents the period of the cos graph. So x is equals to 109.47 degrees plus k times 360, and k must be an integer. And for quadrant 3, we have x is equals to 180 degrees plus 70.53 degrees plus k times 360. Therefore, x is equals to 250.53 degrees plus k times 360, and there is a restriction on k. 6.4. Given x plus 1 over x is equals to 3 cos a, and x squared plus 1 over x squared is equals to 2, determine the value of cos 2a without using a calculator. Okay, here we have x plus 1 over x is equals to 3 cos a. And what I can do is I can build x squares. So I would square both sides of the equation given. On the right, I will have 9 cos square a, and on the left, it will be x squared plus 2 plus 1 over x squared. So remember, x plus 1 over x squared is the same as saying x plus 1 over x times x plus 1 over x. And that will be x squared plus 1 over x squared. And if I multiply the other two terms, it will be x times 1 over x, which is 1, and x times 1 over x, which is 1 as well. So it will be x squared plus 2 plus 1 over x squared. Furthermore, we are given that x squared plus 1 over x squared is equal to 2. So therefore, we will have on the left hand side 2 plus 2 is equals to 9 cos square a. So that means 4 is equals to 9 cos square a. Therefore, cos square a is 4 over 9. And we want to find the value of cos 2a. On the formula sheet, we know that cos 2a is equals to 2 cos square a minus 1. So that will be 2 times 4 over 9 minus 1, which is negative 1 over 9.